argument for censorship. He calls it something else.
Yeah, I forget the term. I have it in my phone.
But I don't even think he's using the term right. But he's basically like, there's a window of ideas we accept.
Yes.
And we accept ideas between this, I guess this is, if I get window, you're looking like this. So we accept ideas between here and here. And anything outside of that window, well, you're fireable. That's censorship.
What?
But he's acting as if this is like a justified reason for firing people when you built your identity and platform off of no censorship and freedom of speech and facts don't care about your feelings and all this shit.
It's also funny that that window happens to end where his beliefs end.
Isn't
it interesting?
You would say that.
Not being pro-Israel, that's where the window ends. That's also your specific personal belief.
What?
So I just don't see.
You can't have an opinion on your platform that is not pro a country that is not ours?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Crazy. I wish.
So is the Daily Wire an American media platform or is it an Israeli media platform? I'm just asking.
This guy's cooking.
I'm just asking. If the rule is, I'm just saying, if the rule is you cannot be critical, because he has no problem being very critical of America.
Yep.
He's critical of the left in America. Left is half the country. You have no problem eviscerating half of the country.
That's the current party in power.
But you can't criticize Israel as a country. That's just another country, unless you're saying, and you're clearly admitting, that the Daily Wire is an arm of the Israeli, I guess, media or propaganda machine. Is that? Oof. Are you manipulating the religious right in America? Are you manipulating the right-wing conservatives in America and selling them country western movies and putting on your little cowboy hat and fake moving in Nashville so that you could take all their money and then in the process restricting free speech, one of the core tenets of the American identity? Ben.
Oof. Benjamin.
What is happening? There's trouble in paradise.
We have literally tens of millions of people in the United States who are afraid that the cancel culture is coming for them. And cancel culture does exist. Okay, so what this results in very, very often is corporations looking to cram down a particular viewpoint on you and then cancel you. When it comes to the hosts on the Daily Wire, obviously everyone is able to say what they want. But the reality is that there is an Overton window at the Daily Wire. There are polls out there that show that a vast majority of Americans in every single political group, including liberals, feel like they cannot say what they want to say in public because they're afraid that they are going to be canceled, fired, cast out from polite society. This actually happened to a socialist moron named Nathan Robinson. He got canceled from The Guardian. And he said he got canceled from The Guardian because he had put up some anti-Israel tweet. Okay, now I think he's an idiot. I think that his views on Israel are abhorrent. But I don't think that he should lose his columnist slot over at The Guardian. That's a different story, obviously, when it comes to any publisher. Any publisher gets to make decisions about what it wishes to purvey and not. He certainly would not defend anybody on the other side who got canceled. In fact, he has repeatedly said cancel culture does not exist. Okay, it does exist. The fact that there are people out there who want you to lose your job for the sin of saying things they don't agree with is extraordinarily real, and it is happening on a moment-by-moment basis. You know, the Daily Wire is a publisher, not a platform. Publishers obviously have to decide what sort of things they wish to pay for the publication of, and when it comes to hosts and publishers, parting ways, obviously there'll be a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there was a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on
the determination of every country represented here at NATO remains rock solid. We will do everything that we can. Allies will do everything that they can to ensure that Ukraine has what it needs to continue to deal with Russia's ongoing aggression against Ukraine, an aggression that gets worse with every passing day. Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward.
But, of course, we believe that Ukraine deserves to be a member of NATO and that this should happen sooner rather than later.
Why does the European Union's chief of foreign policy say that Israel is using starvation as a weapon of war? Are you disagreeing with them? Are they wrong? Is the EU getting it wrong? The EU's lying.
Yes. You're a disgrace.
I'm a disgrace because...
Absolutely, you're a disgrace.
Why? Because I don't believe that children should be starved to death? I do not.
You're siding with a terrorist organization.
I am not siding with Hamas.
A war that brought senseless suffering to both Israelis and Palestinians.
I am not. I'm not taking a side with.
You
I'm
fund
simply.
Israel, who is carrying out a genocide.
There is no Israel's not. You're absurd.
There's no genocide.
Genocide means the destruction of a people.
And genocide is the purposeful action to destroy in part or in whole a unique ethnic or religious or national group. Do you not believe that there is an attempt to commit genocide?
Still genocide.
Why did the International Court of Justice rule there's a plausible genocide going on? Do you at least believe there's a plausible genocide? Do you agree with them on that?
There is no genocide.
There's nothing. Okay. Yes or no? Are they starving today? And if
there are people who are starving because Hamas is stealing aid.
whoa,
And you're doing the
so an organization with a total of 30,000 people is stealing all the aid necessary for 2.2 million people.
Sorry, an organization of 30,000 people.
Yeah, 35,000 people. That's the members of Hamas. Yeah. So, but then why does the European Union's chief of foreign policy say that Israel is using starvation as a weapon of war? Are you disagreeing with them? Are they wrong? Is the EU getting it wrong?
Lying. Yes.
The EU's lying.
Yes.
We are here in Richie Torres' office. Richie Torres, real quick, has over 700,000 people living in his district. He has taken throughout his career over $1 million from pro-Israel lobby groups. He spends most of his time focusing on harassing college students who speak out for Palestine. He tweets all day and goes on speeches advocating for Israel and refuses to acknowledge the poverty that is going on in his own district. He actually has the poorest district in the country, hands down, out of over 430 districts. 32.1% of the individuals of his constituents in his district are below the poverty line. The national average is 12%. So that's more than double the national average. Research conducted by Adam Johnson at The Intercept found that in his public speeches, he mentioned Israel 337 times. He mentioned poverty 142 times. It's clear what Richie Torres prioritizes. It's Israel over his own people, over the poverty, and over improving his own district.
Now, I may be naive, Simon, but I don't understand the right to return. Because as far as I can see, nobody in history has ever had the right to return. Who's had the right to return? I mean, from day one, we've been pillaging other people's countries and never giving it back. Rhodesia, it was grabbed from us, the empire, it was grabbed, we didn't gave it back. Nobody does that. It's just, we've got so much to give the world. If we just stop picking on us, singling us out as a pariah state, that was given. That was not taken, it was given. And the United Nations is about as useful as the Eurovision Song Contest and as corrupt. And you have a situation in the world where intelligent people accept that there are 60-odd resolutions against this tiny, besieged nation of Israel. And I think maybe one against Syria, maybe none against China, 500 executions a year, censorship. I don't know that there are any against Russia, who have just marched into another country and taken it, but there are 60-odd, including one about women's positions in Israel. This is all, voted against by people who don't allow women to drive and make them cover their heads with black bags. So, Jonathan Swift would have a heyday coming back in today's society. It makes no sense.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one.